And number 1 is... question mark? I didn't put number 1's question mark. Oh, hello viewer. Oh, I'm just wondering, have you ever had that feel where, how could someone make some pile of bile so horrendously bad that you think, I can make games better than you? And you think, yeah, I can definitely make games better than you, and there's no way in the world you can make something bad. That's how I feel. This is how I feel about the top 5 worst games of all time. Hang on, let me just change that. Top 10 worst games of all time. Number 5. Aquaman, Battle for Atlantis, and Drake of the 99 Dragons. Both of these games are terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I'm sure you're inclined to agree if you know anything about these. They have terrible camera controls. As Aquaman Battle for Atlantis has absolutely diabolical limits, and sometimes you can't even fight the limits are that bad. There's like enemies attacking you, and there's boundaries, and you can't even go to attack them. And Drake of the 99 Dragons, your camera's flying everywhere. He's like some sort of extraterrestrial, and then everything blows up in a super massive explosion that you just can't deal with anymore. So you need to move on to the next one. Number 4. This game with no title. Oh, and Ride to Hell Retribution. Now, I think I know what that 1% is for. The 1% is what the reviewers gave when they saw this game. Now, if you're wondering, I think... Oh, yeah, I remember now. It's in the script. This game is Superman 64. And apparently it has terrible time limits. It's just terrible. Hang on, let me just read the script a minute. It says, awful time limits. If you fly past too many rings, it says Lex wins. You forgot to put the title on, said that. Yeah, and Ride to Hell, it says, well, that has, it veers to the right every time you try to drive. Terrible sex scenes. The girls are stereotyped, and yeah, everything else is terrible. Sorry, I had to look at my script. So unprofessional. It was just so bad that I just had to wipe it from my memory. Sorry. Number 3. Hotel Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog, also known as Sonic 06. Now, Sonic 2006 is a particularly bad game because it has terrible loading screens. It has human romances with a blue hedgehog. What are they thinking? I mean, it's odd enough having a blue hedgehog in a 7th generation world, but just why? And the voice acting's pretty bad. Anyway, Hotel Mario, I forgot. Script, so I just need to look at you on it. What does it say? Oh, right. It's a game about closing doors. Right. Anything else? Just closing doors? Closing doors. Oh, right, and it's for the Philips CDI. And I also mentioned that every game on there is so terrible and bad. Even they ruined Zelda. Just ruined Zelda, isn't it? Number 2. E.T. the Extraterrestrial for the Atari 2600 and Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. Now I say for the Atari 2600 because Pac-Man is a generally good game. But this is a big but. A huge, massive, circular, a huge, massive but. And this is, they made a prototype version, right? They made a prototype version, and they're saying in the studio, and they say, oh, this is our prototype version, it's going to be ready soon. And it's like, no, I think that's a perfect game, we'll just send it out to the market right now. And so, alright. And with E.T., they took 6 weeks to develop it, and the developers hated it, everyone hated it, and it's still considered one of the worst games of all time. And as well as that, it's not bad. I'll just leave that to sink in. It's not bad. It's confusing, and And I don't think it's the main reason that caused the video game crash of 1983, because, you know, all those consoles. No, I mustn't get distracted. Anyway, number 1. Now, before going to number 1, what could you think is worse than E.T. and Pac-Man for the Atari 2600? What do you think is games that partially caused the video game crash in 1983? These. Bubsy 3D. That awful, god-awful, don't make me listen to it again title music with the terrible voice acting. There's no textures on half the things. The jumping, the camera pans down. You can barely move right for a PS1 game. And, what? Well, apparently it's very good by EGM. Who's EGM? And, Gold X Award. Okay. And Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. Now, this I remember. I called it Big Rigs Under the Road Racing because the collision detection's awful. When you drive up mountains, there is just literally no speed difference. And depending on the version you have, for the first version, or all of them are alpha versions anyway, the driver doesn't even start. If you have the next version, right, he stops right before the finish line, and what does it say when you finish the race? Your winner. Well done, take your winner prize. You've definitely earned it. Oh, you see this police on the front cover? Well, you know, I don't know who they are. They're just some sort of mystery police force that must be in invisible, untextured cars, I assume. Or cars that just don't have any collision detection. No cars on the roads. It's just you and that truck that just doesn't drive anywhere. Anyway, if you've managed to stay this long, you're a winner. You can get that your winner trophy because you are a winner. So this is leaving to say goodbye for now, and don't forget to leave a comment and like, subscribe to my channel.